Have you ever found yourself torn between resignation and control when faced with difficult situations? Where does the Bible stand on this? This is a question that many of us ponder. When life throws a curveball, do we just give in and accept our fate, or do we strive to change our destiny? The views often swing between two extremes. On one hand, there's the belief that we should simply surrender to the circumstances, accepting everything life presents us. On the other hand, there's the conviction that we can shape our own destiny, that through faith and prayer we can have what we desire. But what does the Bible say about these views? The truth, as it often is with spiritual and philosophical matters, lies somewhere in between these two extremes. Neither complete resignation nor absolute control is advocated in the whole counsel of God, as per Acts 20:27. Elements of both views can be found, but neither paints the entire picture. To find the balance, we must start from a place of certainty. God is good, and God is sovereign over his creation, as stated in Daniel 5:21 and Psalm 83:18. Sovereignty implies that the one who created everything has the power, wisdom, and authority to do as he pleases with his creation, as referenced in Psalm 135:6 and Daniel 4:35. The psalmist says in Psalm 115:3, "Our God is in heaven, he does whatever pleases him." Yet this sovereignty does not mean that God dictates sin, pain, or rebellion. He does not lie, yet he allows lies. He does not sin, yet he allows sin to exist in this world, as seen in Genesis 6:5 and Romans 6:16. Because of the curse that sin brought upon the world, evil, pain, and rebellion are part of our human existence. When we face such calamities, we have choices in how we respond. The Bible encourages us to bring our burdens to God, trusting in his goodness and sovereignty. But what does this mean in practice? Despite life's struggles, we're taught to bring our burdens to God, trusting in his goodness and sovereignty. But what does this mean in practice? In dealing with life's trials, acceptance isn't a passive resignation. Rather, it's an active process. But how does this look like? Active acceptance, as taught in the Bible, is an ongoing dialogue with God, a process of surrendering our burdens and concerns to him. The Bible encourages us to bring our worries to God through prayer and supplication with a heart full of gratitude, as stated in Philippians 4:6. This isn't a one-time event, but a continuous conversation with our Creator. 1 Peter 5:7 tells us to cast all our cares upon him because he genuinely cares for us. This is a deliberate act, a choice to trust God with our worries and fears. It's not about neglecting our problems, but acknowledging God's sovereignty over them. And in 1 Thessalonians chapter 5:17, we are encouraged to pray without ceasing. This doesn't mean we spend every minute on our knees, but rather, we should keep our hearts open to God, always ready to converse with him, sharing our joys, fears, and concerns. A beautiful example of active acceptance is Jesus' prayer in Luke 22:42. Faced with the unimaginable pain of crucifixion, Jesus pleaded with God to find another way. But he concluded his prayer with the words, "Yet not my will, but yours be done." This wasn't passive resignation, it was a conscious decision to accept God's will, even when it was incredibly difficult. So how does this apply to us? Well, it starts with accepting ourselves as God made us. Each of us is unique, created with purpose and value. Our attitudes, particularly towards ourselves, can significantly affect our relationship with God. An attitude of discontent can undermine our effectiveness and potential, but an attitude of acceptance and gratitude can strengthen our relationship with God. As we navigate life's storms, may we learn to actively accept, trusting in God's sovereignty and goodness, and embracing ourselves as God's unique creations.